Hello, everybody. Welcome. It's Sunday and it's the 19th, and we have what? 1 week until that jolly man appears. At least we hope he appears. Um, some of us will have the jolly man, some of us won't, but that's all okay. Whoop, got the wrong date there. Here we go. Let's get things organized here. So, welcome everybody. My name is Mary Jane Tracy, psychic medium, spiritual life coach, love of life coach. Gotta love this life, and an astrologer. Boy, what are we coming into? We had, if you didn't see that full moon, it was pretty powerful, very argumentative. I can tell you that for sure. It did have a little bit of that little spiteness that was in it, but that's what with that Gemini. It was doing the last kind of hurrah. It was a moon that needed action and needed activity and needed you to get out there and yell at it and tell it and embrace it. It was all that of Gemini and saying its final farewells to the nodes. And we also have today, the moon is in Cancer. So, I mean, we had the little argument. Today, we might have a little bit of emotion going on because the moon is out of bounds and it is making a hard aspect to the nodes. So, we are going through, we're building up through everything and all of the transitions. And Venus has gone into the underworld. So Venus is in the underworld for 40 days and 40 nights. She is down there. She's been pulled down into the place of Haiti. And she's with Hades. So she's, she's been conjunct him, for some time, and she will until I think after Christmas here. So she's going to be with that energy with Pluto. And I'm going to talk about that tonight. Also, I'm going to talk a little bit about that energy because it goes all the way into 2022. So a lot of things are really hyping up for us. A lot of energies are coming in to motivate us in some way, to create an awareness, a newness, all of the emotions and the arguing and anything else that seems to be piling up on you is just getting out there. Today is a fabulous day to kind of decorate the tree or make cookies. This is a day that if you wanted to make some sugar cookies with the kids, or if you wanted to do something and maybe you do bake-off sales with people or trade-off sales with people, and you have a neighbor, you want to give them something special, maybe baking some cookies, baking something good, or going to your favorite bakery and ordering something special for Christmas, whether it's the Yule log or a Christmas cake. This is when my mom, because she used to make her own Christmas cake. And downstairs in a big bowl, in this great big, like it's almost like a vat, she would start soaking her fruit and everything to go into the cake at least a month beforehand, if my memory. And she would put rum, and it would be soaking in rum and brandy. So my mom would get some really good rum and some brandy, and she'd be soaking raisins and currants and other dried fruits, and she'd be having them soaked. And then she would make Christmas cake. And that cake, I mean, she'd make several of them. And I don't know if your parents, or if that was part of your tradition. My mother did also what they called feeding the cake. And feeding the cake is until Christmas days, that you would, after you bake it, you would actually poke a little hole in it, and then you'd add a little bit of brandy or rum to your cake. So that'd be feeding your cake. And then, so it'd be nice and moist, and all of that goodness would be in that cake. So my parents used to do that. That used to be a huge thing. My dad, my mom, and my grandmother, when she lived with us, that's that would be their thing. You'd be seeing them in the kitchen. the other part too, I don't know, it's like a lot of these things, because it's just basically now my husband and I, um, at home, is mincemeat tarts, like making the tarts. And my mother would actually do this about a few weeks before. I'm going to say a month, so about 3 or 4 weeks. But our freezer used to be packed full. I did a meme from this one um, guy from England, and he's opening the fridge and he goes, "Oh, mom, what are we going to have for dinner tonight?" And it's all of this stuff. He goes, "Oh, is that, oh, can't have that. That's for Christmas dinner." Oh, that's for Christmas. Oh, that's for Christmas. So the fridge would be filled, but you weren't allowed to eat anything till Christmas. You'd bake the cookies. You can't eat those till Christmas. You have the mincemeat. You can't have those till Christmas, or the sausage rolls and things like that. All of that would come out after midnight mass, because we would go to midnight mass, and when we came home, there would be a spread. My mother would come home after mass. She'd be having stuff in the oven, baking. We would have uh, mincemeat tarts and rolls, and sausage rolls and pickles that she made, and olives, and all these different types of cheeses. We'd have a great big charcuterie board. So my parents would do all these different cheeses with sliced meats. So we'd have the sliced meats. And of course, we also had oysters. So my parents, we also had oysters, and what else was there? I think my mom loves sardines, so there's probably sardines out there on there. So different things like that you'd put onto your crackers, creamed cheeses, different types of goat cream cheese, all this, all this wonderful goodness. And you would eat that, and you'd be up until like 4 in the morning, and of course eating, and then off to bed you go. And then, but my mom would be up, and she'd be putting the turkey in by 8 o'clock. I'm going to get a people. And stuff. So she'd be putting the turkey in and stuff by 8 o'clock and stuff. And then we would have, usually dinner would be, have a sort of a Christmas lunch, or late or early dinner. I don't know. So those things, or sometimes it was later, depending on who was coming over. And I could swear that we would have, when I was a kid, we would have at least. I'm going to get a paper. My husband's going to get a paper, everybody. Okay. All right. Drive safe. Would have at least, between us, that's 6, 7, 8, 9. That would be just our regular dinner. That would be our regular people around the table. And then whoever would be coming over, I would say we could have at least 19 to 20 19 plus people around our table for Christmas. And that was nothing. That was just a normal thing. And anytime we'd have those celebrations, and of course out came the wine, out came, my parents loved to have brandies and stuff like that. My grandmother's black currant tonic, which was like, I think you can still get it in England. It's called a tonic. Because I saw it on either my one of my chateau shows, where they went into the pharmacy, and the pharmacy had tonics, and these tonics were actual, like, flavored tonics for different ailments. And they were like 19% alcohol or something. They're very high in alcohol, but but you'd only have like a little sherry glass of it in the evening. I'm just saying, it's 19%, so it's probably pretty potent. But those are the beautiful types of traditions, as we're coming into the Christmas season. And especially the last week was all the hustle and bustle and everything else. This is a year I'm finding that for myself, I'm not hustling and bustling. I'm not going out. I don't think I bought one present yet for anybody except for Mateus, and I'm hoping that it's going to get here by Christmas. um we also had, where stockings. I'd make sure all the kids' stockings and stuff are done. And this is a year that I'm not doing that. I'm not filling stockings. I'm putting out candy. I got baked goods, and we have We have pies and loaves and cookies. So we have a lot of like goody foods, and we want to get some nuts and stuff. My husband wants to do a cheese board and things, and I'm just like, oh, I'm just like looking. I'm just thinking of the food, and I'm gaining weight. And then the chocolates, of course, different chocolates and stuff like that. Also, those are the types of things, like, for me, it's really for Mateus and having everything out there for Mateus, because he has his wondrous eyes. His eyes are just, all happy. And every time you talk about Christmas and we get texts, we get a text from Santa Claus. Santa Claus texts you now. I don't do elf on the shelf. Never got into that. I think it's kind of creepy that this elf is watching you and doing shit all over the house. I just found that kind of creepy. It reminded me of the gnomes of when I was a kid that would follow me in my auntie's garden. And I'd turn around and there'd be a fucking gnome there. Because I just have issues with gnomes. They're cute. I know these little gnomes that everybody are making. They're so cute and adorable, but for me personally, I just had some issues with them. But these little traditions and stuff are our family gathering this year is going to be very small. It was last year as well. But this is also where I'm I'm not worried, like I wasn't even worried last year or the year before, but about what they want to do or what they say or what anybody says. To me, it's like, let's get together, let's gather. Anybody who's, my the amount of food that we're going to have in our house, if you have if you're alone for the holidays and you're in Calgary, get a hold of me. The door is open. We're going to have a turkey and a ham, and we're going to have all the fixings and all of that kind of stuff is going to be there. So it is going to be, if you need to you want to come to a crazy house, come to my house for Christmas. One of the other celebrations is that we get a lot of our traditions happens in around right after the summer or the winter solstice. So the winter solstice, when it comes, it is when it is the sun stops, the solstice. The sun stops in the sky and it begins to I'm going to say what like recalculate itself to begin to bring in the light more. So the light starts coming in more, and as the light is starting to come in more, the sun really starts to move at least 3 to 4 days after, which is December 25th. That's when the light really starts to come forth. And this is where, even in the Julian calendar, they had a Roman celebration, which we got a lot of our traditions for celebrating from the ancient Roman pagan festivals. And it is still celebrated today. It is oh, they have 7 steps in here. So this is where it is that you would greet people and you would say lo saturnalia, and with the lo being pronounced yo yo. So next time someone wishes you a happy holiday, feel free to respond yo saturnalia. And after, if you lived in Roman times, it was Saturn was the reason for the season. And this is because when the sun goes into Capricorn, the ruler of Capricorn is Saturn. Saturn brings in, we don't think of Saturn as a festival, or we usually think of him as this ruler who wants to get us to do things and be a certain way. Yet this energy of Saturn wants to make sure, yes, he is organized, but he wants to bring in the organization. He wants to bring in the newness for the new season. And the types of foods that you would eat during this time was candy fruits, jams, and tarts would all be appropriate, as would sweetened nuts and seeds. But a real star of the show should be cookies and cakes, ginger snaps, um, nut rolls, honey buns. All of these are all part of Saturnalia celebration in Rome. So they still do this. and they celebrate it for quite a number of days. So all of this food would come in, and you would be coming in, and you would be going to other people's houses. So you'd go from house to house, and you would celebrate, and you would enjoy, and you would have this food, and you'd have some wine, and you would drink, and then you would go home, and then you'd do it all again the next night. So you'd go around the neighborhood, and you would be enjoying everyone's company, uh, wanting to bring in goodwill for all. You're wanting to bring in so that everybody would have a good harvest coming forth. And this is where it's, bringing in a kind of like a public banquet, wanting to bring everybody together. We want to have this celebration so that we are able to bring in the goodness. So many of us, in the people in the pagan, will have a Yule festival, and a Yule one is more of a German winter festival, and it's more in aligned with the winter solstice. And at the Yule celebration, that's when you would start bringing in all the greenery. That's when you bring in all the lights. That's when you do the tree. You bring in, because this is like you're celebrating the light coming back in. You're celebrating that light being seen, and the days begin to get longer, and we end up having to get each minute the sun is in the sky a little longer. So every day it's 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute, until we get to the summer solstice, which then it is reversed, and we start to see the decrease of the sun, and start to make the decrease in the sky. These celebrations, like we notice if you watch the Celtic wheel, if we go into any of the pagan celebrations, or even some of the ancient celebrations, they like to have a festival at least every 6 to 8 weeks, because work was hard. Like, you worked your ass off to make sure you had enough food. You made sure that whatever you were doing, you had to haul it to market. You had to make sure you had the seeds. You had to make sure you were out there um, planting the seeds, and the whole bit. So this was a time of allowing to go with the flow of the earth, with the seasons, because every celebration brought in a new season, brought in a new energy, because they knew with the sun, they knew that things were starting to change. More light would be coming in with the embolic, with May Day. It was bringing in, because we're going to start to plant and plow the fields, right? And so you want to bring in that beautiful harvest, right? So these are celebrations that we have. And even today, whether you believe in the way Christmas is, or about, what the representation of how we celebrate Christmas as Christ's Mass, that's what Christmas means. It is the celebration of Christ. Christ is the light that comes in. This is the Christ consciousness energy that is coming into our world at this time, and enlightening us, igniting us. And this is a beautiful week for us to really step into celebration. Even if you're by yourself, even if you're like, I don't celebrate Christmas, I challenge you to go out and get just a string of lights, put them in a little you could get them at the dollar store, like a little lantern, and you could, where you put a tea light in, but put little lights in them, and you could put them in and around your apartment, doing something that's very simple and symbolic to bring in the greenery, the light into your life, into the newness, and stepping forward into something new. And that's where we want to go into. That's the frequency of the energies, because we want to create a expansion, a feasting, a time of gift giving, a time for us to have fun and laugh. That's what we want. And that's where these, even though we might be feeling very emotional today, we might be feeling still a little grumpy from the last couple days, try and shake it off. Go put some Christmas music on, or what music that you love to listen to. Put it on. decorate, bake some cookies, bake something that is very yummy, put recipes up, share the recipes. If you are gluten intolerant to being a vegan, share those recipes because I've had some vegan cookies and they're really good. And I notice they like to use a lot of chocolate or cacao. Cool. I will eat those cookies. So enjoy, embrace, and have a fabulous day today. This is Saturn's day. So let's take in that festivity of what's the other part of Saturn is. That festivity of excitement. If anybody knows a Capricorn, like they can get very excited about their projects or what they're doing and they want to share them. And the other thing is that Capricorns are also that of the sea goat. So you have that head of a goat, but the body of a dolphin. So it is that energy of being able to swim through and go through with a strategy and say, this is the energy that I need to go through with. So embrace, allow yourself to find maybe something new that you want to bring in to your daily routine. Maybe you want to create something that is different that you haven't created before. But please, if you are in the Calgary area and you want to share in some festivities for Christmas, let me know. And yeah, the only thing here, I think they did a sacrifice. We're not doing a sacrifice just at the Temple of Saturn. So we're not going to do any sacrifices, but we can do some singing and some partying and some dancing, definitely. And maybe even doing some charades or something fun. And bringing in that fun energy for everybody so that we can have a little bit of a laugh and a giggle. So, all of you, have a blessed day. Happy Advent. My auction is up there. So, I have the natal chart, 2 1 hour readings, and I have it was the blue flame, connecting with your blue flame. I'm changing that to meeting your inner mean girl or boy. So, this is one that it is to connect you with your blue flame, but there's a little bit more hands-on work that we're going to be doing in order for you to create a working with more of the shadow work. So this year I'm going to be doing a lot of courses dealing with shadow work because that's going to be the main energy as we are going into 2022 is going to be having to deal with our passions and our obsessions and the things that we have parts of us that have been pushed down that we need to open up and allow to be seen again. So a lot of my courses they always have been, but we're doing a little bit of tweaking with them so that they have a little bit more gumption with them, shall I say, I'd love to come to your house for the fun if I was there. That would be wonderful, Lexi. I think you and I would just sit and laugh. Be a lot of laughing. So enjoy. You could do your own research on this. There's even stuff on History Channel if you want. This is a good day. It's just like go and look at some fun things and movies. So it's all there. We go. That's what it's called, and all the different beautiful creativities and energies for this day and what are these women playing? Anyways, I'm getting lost in it. Yes. So have a fabulous day. Enjoy. Have a slice of Christmas cake. Sit and make yourself a nice little coffee and maybe add a little bit of spices into your coffee. Have a spiced coffee or something. And enjoy. This is a day to, yeah, there's emotion. Yeah, there's some heavy aspects, but this is where the astrology, and this is what astrology does. It shows you, okay, this is kind of like the feel of the day. How do you want to work with this energy and what direction do you want to go into? So let's look at the direction we want to go into the fun and celebration of the day. Have a great one. There's only a few more sleeps before the big jolly guy comes. So enjoy and have a blessed day. May the Lord and the Lady watch over and bless each and every one of you in all that you say and all that you be. Blessed be everybody, and we'll talk to you soon. And I may be seeing some of you tonight. I have, before you leave, I've sent out all of the Zoom links for tonight. If you registered and maybe I missed your name, which can happen, let me know and I'll send you the Zoom link. If you are wanting to join me tonight, just DM me and I'll let you know. Because I think I have a couple spaces left, like 2 or 3 spaces left. One person said they can't come now, so that's fine. So, let me know if you are interested in coming tonight. Blessed be everybody. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.